Yes, my dear P5 learners, how are you over there? I hope you are still doing well. My name is Mr. Mugisha Emmanuel, who has come back to teach you mathematics. In our previous lesson, we looked at equivalent fractions. We looked at how we can find equivalent fractions of a given fraction. After that, we looked at where you can be given a missing numerator or denominator and you are told to find it. And at the end of my lesson, I gave you an activity which I hope you did so well. But before I take you through today's lesson, allow me first make a review of what we looked at. If you are told to fill in the missing number, okay, in this one, I told you that to get the missing number 1, you can find equivalent fractions of 3/7 until you get a fraction whose denominator has 21. But I also gave you a shortcut whereby if you want to get the missing number here, you look at what has been given and you have denominators in this case given. So what do? You get the bigger denominator, which is 21. You divide it by the smaller denominator, which is 7. And this one is going to give you 3. So after getting 3, it means 3 is a common factor which we are going to use on 3 out of 7 to get the fraction. So we shall have 3 out of 7 times this number which we have got times 3, both on numerator and denominator. So 3 times 3 we shall get 9. 7 times 3 we shall get 21. Do you see our denominator here of 21? Yes, our numerator of 21 has come back. But for us, we are interested in the numerator. And the numerator in this case is 9. So we come and put here 9. We have another one where the denominator is missing, but the procedures are going to remain the same. So we are going to compare what has been given, and that is the numerator. So we shall have the bigger numerator. We divide it by the smaller numerator, which is 6. And 30 divided by 6, we shall get a 5. So it means our common factor which we are going to use is 5. So we shall have 6 out of 10. We multiply this side by 5, even here by 5. 6 times 5, we are getting a 30. 10 times 5, we are getting a 50. Do you see the numerator of 30? Yes, it has come back. But for us, we are interested in the denominator. And the denominator in this case is 50. Then you come and fill in. That's basically what we looked at in our previous lesson. Now, in our lesson today, we are going to look at where the numerator of the first fraction is not given or the denominator is not given. So, if we give you a question, for example, where the numerator is not given or the denominator is not given, what do? That's what I have come to teach you today. So today we are going to look at more about equivalent fractions, but I have already explained to you that this time the first fraction we have some parts missing. And in our example number 1, same instruction, fill in the missing, fill in the missing number. Fill in the missing number. Example number 1, we have a box out of 9 is equal to 27 is equal to, let me write 4 divided by maybe 36. Okay? We have a box divided by 9 is equal to 4 out of 36. So in this case, what we are going to do, it's not different from what we did the other time. We are going to get a common factor which we are going to use. So to get that common factor, we shall compare the denominators. So in the denominators we have 36, okay, which we are going to divide by 9. And when you divide by 9, you will get 4, okay? Now, after getting this 4, we know that this 4, when you multiply it by this fraction, you get 4 out of 36. But the numerator again which we are looking for is smaller than 4. It must be smaller than this 4. So we shall now go to the numerator which we are looking for. We get this numerator, we divide it by the factor which we have got, and 4 divided by 4 we shall get 1. So it means the number which is missing here is 1. Okay? So the difference between this and the other one is that when you are finding the missing numerator in the first fraction, we use only division. Even when we are finding the missing denominator, we shall still use division. That's why I have divided here, I have divided here, and the answer is this. If you want to prove your answer, get 1 out of 9, multiply it by this, we shall get that fraction directly. Let's look at another example. Let's look at another example. B, we have a box divided by 4 is equal to 8 out of 16. 8 out of 16. Okay? So we shall compare this, what has been given, and when we compare what has been given, we are going to get 16. We divide it by 4, and this one is going to give you 4. Okay? 16 divided by 4, we get a 4. But we know that this one is supposed to be smaller than this 8. So we shall again get 8. We divide it by the answer which we have got here. And when we divide, we shall get 2. Therefore, the answer here is going to be 2. The answer there is going to be 2. Let's look at another example. Let's look at another example. This time, when the denominator is not given. We are going to look at another example where the denominator is not given. So we have C. We have 1 out of a box. And this one is equal to, this one is equal to 5 out of 10. Is equal to 5 out of 10. Okay? So we have numerators given. So we get the bigger numerator, which is 5. We divide it by 1 if we had followed the procedures. and we shall remain with 5. Then we are finding the missing denominator. To find the missing denominator, you get this denominator, then you divide it by the answer you have got, and this one is going to give you 2. Therefore, the missing number here is 2. The missing number there becomes 2. The missing number there becomes 2. Let's look at D, which is the last one. D, which is the last one. We have 2 out of 7. No, 2 out of a box is equal to 10 out of 35 is equal to 10 out of 35. 2 out of a box is equal to 10 out of 35. So we are comparing the numerators. We shall get 10. We divide it by 2, and this one is going to give you 5. Then after getting 5, what do we do with the 5? We know that this number is supposed to be smaller than 35, so we shall get 35. We divide it by the 5 which we have got here, and the result is going to be 7. So since you have been told to fill in, it means the missing number here is 7. I hope you have observed what to do. The only difference between this and the previous lesson is that here we divide throughout. You divide throughout to get the missing number, and then after doing that, do what we call filling in, because they have told you to fill in. I hope you are going to enjoy the exercise which I'm going to give you. I'm going to give you just a few numbers. Please sit down and write them. Have a nice time. Bye-bye.